Right, here's my Skyline. I thought people might like to see it. I'll tell you the story. I bought this car back in around 2004, and I was going to do 10 of the best, but put it this way, I made a slight mistake on the engine and it basically had a meltdown. There wasn't enough oil supplied to the engine. So basically I spent loads of money, a long time, and then I had to shelve it, and then my twin daughters came along, which totally put a stop to it. So this poor car sat for 11 years unloved, unused, in pieces, no engine in it. Looking out the window on my driveway, looking at my car, thinking, one day I am going to do this. And the amount of people that said, sell it, because you never will. Well, here it is, and this is how far I've got so far. So, I'll give you a little rundown. Basically, the seals on my car were filled with expanding foam that the Japs seem to like to put in there to strengthen the chassis, which is all well and good, but that holds water like a sponge. And it took me a long time to get that out, cut all the rust out. The seals underneath were just rotten. So basically I had to cut all that out. That was the first job. Get rid of all the rust, and that took me quite a while. So it's had new seals. Excuse my my lack of skills. I need to flat that off, because I painted it myself in a friend's booth, admittedly, but I'm okay at painting, but I'm not great. I'm not very good at doing lacquering, it seems. So I need to, I need to flat this off. But that'll look okay once it's done. I've put a lot of lacquer on it. So basically, anyway, it's. I will do a picture thing. I can't even think what it is, you know, like where people do the pictures of the starting and the next bit and the next bit, etc., etc. I mean, I should have done this from the start. I just thought, all these things I look on YouTube and I just see these people doing these projects, and I thought I wanted to share mine, really. Now, it's solid, it's not back to factory, but all that's new metal in there on the corners, which you'll see when I do the picture sort of flick book, I suppose you call it. I don't know what you call it, but anyway. So I've had the suspension out, and I've replaced the bushes. It's now rose jointed, painted up, looking rather lovely. It's fiberglass doors. I've kept glass windows in here because I didn't like the way they flap at speed. These are fiberglass. No, sorry. Perspex. So everything's done for this car is basically lightweight. That's fiberglass boot. It's an old school wing. This is basically, I have no money, so everything is done. Well, basically, it's what I've got. So it gets restored, repaired, and it is what it is. You know. I know there's more modern stuff out there now that I could be putting on this car, but funds do not allow that. So it is what is here is being spruced up, and I think it's looking quite nice so far. Yeah, so my fuel system setup I'm working on today, it's got two Bosch 044 pumps, There's a swell pot, a tiny swell pot, only 1 litre, tucked up in there. And that's obviously got a lift pump, low pressure in the tank. I can't remember if it's the standard one or what, because it's a long time ago since I played with this car, obviously, and trying to remember everything is a bloody nightmare. Quad plate OS gick and clutch. My dog. Oh, sorry if the camera's all jolty, but I'm no YouTube expert, and I'm just doing this just to let people. Hang on. Have a look at what I'm up to. As you see, the dashboard's gone. Carbon fibre dashboard. In there is a pedal box. Hydraulic handbrake's going to go in. Roll cage needs finishing off, or taken down to the front, because originally it came down here around the dashboard and then down, but now it can slot through the dashboard there. So that's another job. Plastic doors, plastic bonnet, personal preference. I always liked my car with stripes on, so I painted them on this time rather than just stickers, because it's my car and I can do what I like. Hang on, what are you doing, dog? Stop it. My dog likes lights for some reason. That's a Quaife straight cut 7-speed gearbox that the dog's just jumped on by the looks of it. Made it wobble about. What are you doing? There, leave. Yeah. Yeah, that's been, well, that's basically a brand new gearbox, that one. Right, engine. Trust sump extension. Let me try and talk you through a few bits on it. 2540s. Now, they were the biggest twin turbos back in the day that you could get. I know singles are probably a bit more drivable than these now, but still I'm hoping to get them quite drivable. People used to complain that they didn't turn, sort of switch on very well. They didn't seem to pull or whatever. I don't know. I never seem to have that problem because my head is heavily flowed, and I mean seriously flowed, and it's got HKS 272 cams, which are, someone's going to correct me probably, 9.5, maybe 10 mil lift, I think. Anyway, something like that. So it's high lift, very high lift cams, very heavily flowed head. I mean, seriously flowed. I flowed it all in here. I don't know if you can see in there. Actually, yeah, it's all flowed right the way from start round to here. Under here is Tomei tubular manifolds. It's all stainless tubular gear. So yeah, when it first ran, well, basically when I put that sump extension on, I Frenched it in quite nicely, or let it in quite nicely, rather than just plonk it on and weld it up onto the sump, which is what you're supposed to do. I sort of made it fit nicely, which isn't what you're supposed to do, because it went up too much and it had not enough clearance between the oil strainer and the bottom of the sump, and unfortunately it had oil starvation at high revs due to this schoolboy error of mine. So that's what put this whole thing on the back burner. And anyway, so now it's it's all repaired and it's all ready to go. But I did put it on the rolling road when I first had it, even though it had oil starvation, and it did make 750 brake horsepower at the wheels at half throttle. I only had the, well, I didn't have the right throttle cable on it, or to match up to this 4-inch butterfly. So anyway, 750 at the wheels at half throttle. It probably won't make much more than that, but still it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, so basically that's how far I've got. I'm trying to take as much weight off this thing as I can. As you can see, there's not really much left of it. If I can get down to 1,300 kilos, I'll be very happy. That's going to be quite difficult because I've got larger intercoolers, even a fuel cooler, larger oil cooler. Yeah, it's got a fuel cooler there. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of fluids going around this car, so yeah, fluids equal weight. But still, if I can get it to 1,300 kilos, then I'll be a happy man. Leave me some comments, and if you like what you see and you'd like to see an update on my little project, then yeah, please leave a comment and I'll upload again. If not, I won't bother. Cheers.